Thank you, Doyle-Price.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. I welcome the Prime Minister's statement today, and in particular I welcome his honesty in recognising that we cannot pursue a zero COVID strategy. We have to face up to the fact that this virus will be with us forever, and we need to find ways of living with it. Now, thankfully, the vaccines provide us with exactly that. And for those of us who wrote to the Prime Minister asking him to take advantage of the vaccine to relax restrictions as quickly as possible, I have to chide the Right Honourable Gentleman, the Leader of the Opposition, for describing those of us who did so as throwing caution to the winds. What we were actually doing was expressing genuine concern about the wider impact of government policies towards restrictions on the welfare of our nation, and in particular on lives and livelihoods. Because the truth of the matter, Madam Deputy Speaker, is that the burden of fighting this disease through social restrictions is not being felt fairly. There are some people who, frankly, if you're a middle-class, white-collar professional, you can work from home. It's a bit inconvenient, you can't go out for dinner, but it's just tiresome. It's not having an adverse position on your health. We also should reflect on those workers that have been carrying on going to work, actually for little thanks, and yet they've been in harm's way. And I'm referring to our postal workers, I'm referring to our refuse collectors, all those people involved in delivering services that every one of our constituents needs and expects. And I don't see any of them demanding to be further up the queue to get a vaccine, so I think we all owe them a great deal of thanks. But my biggest concern are for those people who will lose their jobs. For each and every day that this lockdown continues, more jobs will be lost. And that's my concern, Madam Deputy Speaker. There was a time when the Labour Party bothered about workers and bothered about jobs, but that's now left to us. But we will continue to have that fight. My fundamental concern is with each day that goes on, we really must make sure that we lift those restrictions as soon as possible. Because the truth of the matter is, no government should restrict the rights and liberties of its subjects without being able to demonstrate the outcome. And I'm afraid demonstrating the effectiveness of these lockdowns has been rather poor. There is no evidence that the curfew saved any lives. We know that there's been 2% of transmission from what are now COVID-secure venues. We know that when we went into November lockdown, we came out with higher rates because schools remained open and they were the agents of transmission into people's households and into people's businesses. The truth is, lockdowns don't work, but we have the key to deal with this virus through the vaccinations, and I think this government needs to be much more ambitious than the route map that's been laid before us today in order that we take full advantage of that to secure our freedom again.
Well done.